Tangle the complex cables of government. Let's bring in former White House Chief Information Officer Therese Payton, now Fortalice Solutions founder and CEO. Therese, thanks for the time. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
A lot of concerns, obviously, this week about cutting any kind of government and what that means for people who rely on government services. But as far as cyber goes, you do think this is you're bullish on DOGE's prospects.
I am. We have some of the best tech and security talent working in government organizations today, but they're wasted. They're wasted on complex systems. Some of the systems are also outdated. And we have to get out of this cycle that we're trapped in, where we've got unnecessary complexity, obsolete systems. And if we simplify, improve, and innovate the technology, it's going to be much easier to do cybersecurity. I've got a stat for you. I went and looked at the OMB reports for 2022, and federal departments and agencies reported over 30,000 incidents in the fiscal year 2022. Fiscal year 2023, they went up to over 32,000 incidents. If we were doing something right and didn't need to change, wouldn't that number be going down? It's going in the wrong direction, and DOGE is the best shot we have in improving the pace of acceleration we're on, which is successful cybersecurity incidents.
Do you think they should have free rein to poke and prod into process, or is there a limit to where their access should begin and end?
I'm going to assume, just having been on the inside of the fishbowl with everybody looking in from the outside, I'm going to assume that White House counsel, the Office of Management Budget, that everybody's gone over the types of authorities that DOGE should have, either considered special government employees, contractors, or whatever designation they've been given. And so they are going to run the programs, they're going to run the processes, and get to the root cause, just like an external contractor, consultant, auditor would do, just as an inspector general would do. So whatever authorities they've been given based on the roles that they've been placed in, I'm going to assume White House counsel has that all covered. So the access would be controlled, and the reports and outcomes would be controlled and transparent. And candidly, I'd rather have DOGE have access than Chinese nation states, Russian nation states, and Iran nation states, who, by the way, are part of those over 32,000 incidents that happened most recently to Treasury. We know that we had nation state actors who were accessing information. I'd rather have DOGE in there telling us whether or not they see evidence of other, potential downstream issues. We have got to get the complexity out of our technology if we want to be secure.
But wouldn't the process of eliminating the complexity and having a wholesale rethink of how the government does cybersecurity and data management and everything else be a little bit more of a considered process, where you would get Congress involved and you say, this is what we're going to need to spend to upgrade systems, and then have a little more of a stepped out rollout? I think the concern here is they're kind of looking for expense line items and things that Elon Musk can post about what's going on in the government, as opposed to, hey, we want to protect all the data and do things more efficiently.
Yeah, there is a concern. I've heard people use sort of the analogy of we're taking a sledgehammer to the departments and agencies. And, what I would say if I were advising the team is, as you have your findings, make sure you're putting them into different categories. So when it is time to look at the technology modernization efforts, that's what we have to look at next. And those modernization efforts need to look at, how can we accelerate the timelines? I will tell you that oftentimes these technology projects get bogged down, mired down in overlapping regulations and overlapping authorities, and not knowing, is this something that our department and agency can do? Or are we supposed to use something from another department and agency? We need to streamline the processes. You have these talented CIOs who oftentimes basically have their hands tied behind their back trying to implement scalable technology at speed. We need better speed. We need better innovation. We've got a lot of the right talent in place. We just have to get the bureaucracy out of the way, but keep the pieces of the bureaucracy that help with data security, privacy of information for citizens. But right now, we've got a mess. It's sort of like, if people want to picture at home, look at a cabling closet. We all know those cabling closets where it's just a mess of wires. Nothing's labeled, nothing's organized. And you're just trying to get in there and do the best that you can when you have an outage or you need to add something new to maybe your home wiring closet or at work. But if you walk into a clean cabling closet that's been streamlined, it makes it a lot easier to sunset retired equipment and put brand new equipment in. That's what DOGE needs to do, and it can be done in a way that is safe and secure in the process.
Right. Yeah, we'll see if the country has its own AV guy coming in to get that thing cleaned up. Therese, good conversation. Please come back. Therese Payton, former White House CIO, with Fortalice.